The Senate has mandated its committees on justice, security and intelligence and defense to analyze the resolution on the establishment of War and Economic Crimes Court. On Tuesday, the House of Representatives endorsed and forwarded to the Senate for concurrence a resolution calling for the creation of the court. During a 16-day sitting on Thursday, Maryland County Senator Glego Brown preferred a motion for the communication to be acted upon, but was resisted by Senator Darius DeLong, who argued that there was no significant information on the document. According to our Senate reporter, DeLong's argument was supported by several other senators, including River G County Senator Francis Dopo, who suggested that the resolution be sent to committee room for discussion. Following the argument, the document was sent to the Committees on Justice, Security, Intelligence and Defense with a mandate to report in 2 weeks. A report from the General Auditing Commission has uncovered contradictions in both President Boakai and former President Weah's claims on Liberia's consolidated bank balance as of January 19, 2024. The report, which was commissioned by the Senate, reveals that former President Weah's claims that he left 40 million USD in the country's consolidated account on January 19 is untrue. Following months of audit with the central bank, the GSC established that 6.9 million USD was left in the consolidated account, contrary to former President Weah's 40 million claim. This information also reveals that the 20.5 million bank balance as of January 19, as reported by President Boakai during his State of the Nation address, is untrue. The GSC's latest report on the country's bank balance also uncovered that the former CDC governor borrowed over 83 million USD from the central bank to settle salaries and other arrears for November and December 2023 without legislative approval. The General Auditing Commission is meanwhile recommending that the central bank, among other things, provides substantive justification for approving the Weah government's loan request without legislative approvals, stressing that all future loans from the bank to the government should comply with the CBL Act of 1999 with legislative approvals. President Joseph Boakai has with immediate effect suspended tariff on imported rice following government's assessment and evaluation, which indicates that there will be continuous increase in rice price. The presidential decree affects mild or semi-mild and broken rice with 5 kg or bulk in quantity. President Boakai made a decision Tuesday through Executive Order number 125. The Liberian leader in the executive order stated that his government is determined to initiate measures that will bring financial and economic relief to citizens and ease the high cost of living. The market price of a 25 kg bag of rice has in recent weeks risen to 3,900 Liberian dollars, and Liberians have expressed concern over the uncontrolled increase. But the Liberian leader, through his presidential decree, indicates that the suspension of import tariffs is meant to ease the economic burden on the citizens and maintain stability, make rice accessible to all. President Joseph Boakai is leading a high-power delegation to Ivory Coast to hold discussions with Ivorian President Alassane Ouattara and other officials of his government. According to an executive mansion release, President Boakai will hold discussions with his Ivorian counterparts on several framework agreements existing between the two countries, including electricity, agriculture, and security. The release further states that while in Ivory Coast, the Liberian leader will meet the Regional Electricity Generating Institution, Transco CSLG, and the National Center for Agronomy Research with the aim of fostering knowledge exchange, skill sharing, and technological cooperation between the two Mano River Union nations. Members of the president's delegation, including Foreign Minister Sarah Basloyanti, Finance Minister Boama Kamara, Agriculture Minister Alexander Nuta, and LEC's Managing Director Monica Captain. Other members of the delegation include President Boakai's Senior Economic Advisor Mole Kamara, Acting Chief of Protocol Antoinette Wallo, and Presidential Press Secretary Kula Fofana, among others. While the President is away, Minister of State Sylvester Grisby will chair the cabinet in consultation with the Vice President and the President via phone. Former President George Weah has described the death of former Representative Johnson Gweglo as a great loss to the Congress for Democratic Change. The former Liberian leader made the assertion Thursday when he paid a courtesy visit at the home of the former Nimba County District 9 lawmaker. Former Representative died at the Catholic Hospital in Monrovia on February 19, weeks after his second year's mandate as representative of District 9, Nimba County, ended. Speaking at the home of former lawmaker, the CDC standard bearer said Gweglo was a loyal supporter of the party and a respected policymaker who sought the well-being of those he worked with over the years. The Central Bank of Liberia is admonishing Liberians to stop refusing the old banknotes in circulation. The bank's call is in reaction to reports that Liberians, especially business people, are refusing old banknotes ahead of the March 31 date set by the Central Bank. According to the CBL, the banknotes printed by former President Charles Taylor and Ellen Johnson Sirleaf remain legal continues until the March 31. The CBL, through its head of corporate communications, Afonso Zia, indicates that the bank will create additional windows at the CBL and other designated centers to enable people with huge amounts of the old banknotes to change, even after the March 31 deadline. He made a statement Thursday on Truth FM. Zion explains that the bank has set up a special term to carry out educative messages about the bank's mandate. He added that the team will also engage citizens on how to maintain the country's banknotes to ensure it lasts longer. British Ambassador to Liberia Neil Britley has ensured his government's support to security sector reforms in Liberia. According to Ambassador Britley, the UK government is tomorrow March 8 join the rest of the world in celebrating International Women's Day. The day is set aside to celebrate and promote the social, economic, cultural, and political achievements of women, as well as raise awareness on the challenges and barriers that women face, including violence, discrimination, and unequal access to education and employment, among others. This year's International Women's Day is celebrated under the global theme Invest in Women, Accelerate Progress, and will be celebrated in Liberia under the local theme Equity, Diversity, and Inclusion. In an interview with State Radio Thursday, Deputy Minister for Gender Laura Golake said this year's celebration will recognize women who are contributing to the growth and development of Liberia in their respective areas. Madam Golake highlighted the priorities of the Ministry of Gender, Children and Social Protection under the Joseph Boakai's administration. A motorcyclist has hailed the government for the steps taken to establish the War and Economic Crimes Court in Liberia. President Joseph Boakai recently met with Ellen White for the possible setup of the court, while majority members of the House of Representatives have signed a resolution for the War Tribunal to be established. Clarence Sai, a motorcyclist in Pinsu City, says if those who committed heinous crimes during the Civil War are made to account for their actions, it will improve the country's image and attract investors. In conversation with Luke's Radio Wednesday, Sai emphasized that the prosecution and subsequent punishment of war laws will bring justice to the victims and help reconcile the people. Meanwhile, Sai is calling for the War and Economic Crimes Court facilities to be built in Liberia. He noted that the operation of the court in the country will create job opportunities for Liberians. The Liberia Electricity Corporation, LEC, has disclosed that over 3,500 households in Mosiraru County are expected to be connected soon. The LEC says the connections will commence following the launch of the Phase 4 Gap Community Electrification Project.